Hello, this is Rogan, and today we're gonna be baking bacon. To do this, we'll need a roll pan, metal spatula, chopsticks, and a small ceramic bowl if you want to save the bacon fat. The first thing we need to do is lay out our bacon on the pan. I normally start by putting vertical rows from left to right along the top edge of the pan, but today I seem to have gotten mixed up and started sideways instead. Let's get this fixed. Yep, we've flipped it around and now we're putting it on there with little tucks in the bacon. This way it'll all fit on one sheet. Well, okay, it's not a sheet, it's a roll pan. It'll all fit on one roll pan. Using this kind of pan is critical because without the rolled little edges, you'll end up having a bunch of bacon fat dripping off the sides, and you don't want that kind of mess in your oven. Well, we ran out of room, so let's just squeeze some stuff around here a bit and get it to fit. It's all going to shrink in the first 15 minutes anyway. So now we finish up doing our layout, and here we are. That's what it looks like. It's all ready to go in the oven. It's all tucked up and fitting in one pan. Now, you're going to want to experiment with the actual temperature you use, but here I'm setting it to about 380 degrees. I found that to work well. There we go. So I'm recording this whole thing on my cell phone. I'm holding it in my left hand and trying to work with an oven in the right hand, and it's a bit of a shaky thing going on, but yeah, we'll get better. Let's set our timer for 15 minutes. I found that's enough for the oven to actually heat up and get our bacon cooked enough that we're gonna need to flip it. 15 minutes have gone by, and it's time to take it out and take a look. Yeah, sorry about all the hard pans here. Again, I'm holding the cell phone in one hand and cooking with the other. Yep, that's a big sizzly pan of bacon. It's really very pink, but you can see that it's already shrunk a lot. And try not to get burned to a crisp. Notice I'm using a nice hot pad there. Now we need to flip the bacon. I found that a nice metal spatula and a pair of chopsticks is all I need. We do have a metal tray sitting on top of a metal grill top, and as you can see it wants to wiggle around some. You might want to use a towel or something underneath there because the bottoms of these pans do tend to buckle and bow when they get hot. The pan tends to move when you hit these little sticky spots where the bacon's cooked a bit more and hard up against the pan. Here we are, flipping the bacon. We have to expand out the bacon also and move it around a little bit to get it to cook properly. If we don't expand out these little folds, we'll have areas that are cooked way much more and little pockets that aren't cooked much at all. Now let's put this back in the oven and set the timer again for another 15 minutes. This is a cheap Walmart timer, by the way. It's not the most accurate, and one day it's going to die, but it works well enough. While I'm waiting, I'm making some coffee. Just like everybody else does, I have my own weird way of making coffee, and if you really want to know about it, ask me and I will tell you. But for now, we'll just go on with the video. It took about 5 minutes to set up the pot, and now we're going to wait for the next 10 minutes for the buzzer Yeah, speaking of time, it takes about 45 minutes to an hour to cook this bacon this way. Frying it's much quicker, but the advantage is that you don't make a big mess in the kitchen. You don't have to keep moving the bacon around, and you can use your stovetop to cook other things in the meantime. Oh yeah, I got the coffee going, I'm smelling the bacon. It's like aromatherapy. Alright, we're taking a look at the bacon again. Because if we don't, it will overcook. Because even though you know the temperature, every time you cook, the bacon's going to be a little different. Okay, there's enough room now that we're just going to move some stuff over. And some of this looks done enough that we're going to take it off. There's a whole lot of bacon fat on this tray. And we're going to save it so we can cook with it later. I'm not going to get into any of the health issues here, but I will leave links at the bottom for information about how bacon fat is not actually as bad for you as some people make it out to be. By the way, I don't use the word grease to describe bacon fat. Grease is a horrible thing. It's dirty, it's gunky, it's polluted, it's devoid of any nutritional value. Hey, we're at 30 minutes. We got a lot of bacon fat here. We don't want to put that back in the oven. It's just going to burn in there. Instead, we're going to drain it off into one of these. And after you let it sit in the fridge for about a week, you just stick a knife in it, put it on the counter, and there you go. I don't have an extra one of these because they're all being used for this, that, or the other thing. So we're just going to pour it into this, the one that I've been using already. Nice and gentle pour. Yeah, this bacon's done as far as I'm concerned, but you'll note that I already took some off that I considered done. This stuff's going back in. It's for my wife. She likes it cooked more, a lot more. I'm sure you've been in a situation where you thought something was perfect and it wasn't. So yeah, it's for someone else. At this point, we're cooking for other people because that's what you gotta do is cook for yourself and for others. Well, I'm gonna get some coffee now. Oh yeah, coffee in the morning. Oh. And with that, our coffee break is over. That's how life goes. See, you prep, and then when you're ready to enjoy what you did, something comes up and you gotta go do it. So that's life. At this point, we've got bacon that I think looks just about perfect. But we have to cook it some more for my wife. So let's just fast forward through this and get it all flipped and put it back in the oven. That's right, we're making the unicorn of bacon for her. Right now it's a horse with the horn glued on its head, and I'd be happy with that. But she wants a unicorn, so we're gonna get her a cute little pony with the little horn on it that hasn't just been taped on. Of course, we don't want to overcook the pony, so we'll be checking this way before the timer runs out on it. But in the meantime, I finally get to drink my coffee. Hey, time has gone by, so let's see what the bacon looks like. Oh yeah, that's nice. Good and sizzly. This is what the wife wants. And you should pat the bacon to get the extra bits of oil and fat off of them. And I know it's hard to tell here in the video, but the stuff on the right is much darker. And the stuff on the left, it's a bit stiff because it's been sitting there for a while cooling off. But that's done. Now all we have to do is clean this. Thank you for wasting time with us today. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more content like this, please click on the like button and subscribe. If you'd like to see anything in particular or have any questions, please leave a comment.